answers. We have some experiences, we have some ideas, we have some things which have worked, and many of panelists have also knowledge about things what do not work. So we try to share all those things. The panel today is almost a presidential panel. I'm starting in the sequence how it's presented in the agenda. So the first in the list is Juras Banis. He's president of Lithuanian Academy of Sciences, already several years, something like 8 years. He's physicist. This man has been professor first, then dean, then vice rector, and then rector of Vilnius University, and is member of, I don't know, uncountable number of different panels and committees. So, but he knows what it means to be excited as electron. So he was expressing the opinion that we are all here excited already. The next in the list is Zuzana Panchova. She's vice president of the Slovak Academy of Sciences and responsible for international cooperation and research security. And what she does may seem very strange for physicists and mathematicians. So she is doing social anthropology, specializing in rumors and conspiracy theories. But this is also hardcore science, even if a mathematician like me doesn't believe it. And then comes Maurice Cicic, president of the Academy of Sciences of Arts of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Yes, you may start moving already. So he is expert in economics. And he has been Fulbright professor in the United States and also something 6 or 7 years working in Australia. And now he's professor emeritus and corresponding member of his academy from 2008, full member from 2012, and now president of this academy. Then the fourth discussant is Svetlana Tercic. She's a mathematician from Montenegrin, full member of the Montenegrin Academy of Science and Arts, and currently vice president of this academy. She has got her PhD degree from my home university, which is Lomonosov Moscow State University. And he has visited great many leading centers of mathematics of the world. And last but not least, not yet president possibly, is academician Ilirian Malulari, who is representing Academy of Sciences of Albania. So after being in this panel, I think that he will be the next president or at least vice president of the Albanian Academy of Sciences. So I really would like to thank the panelists who have accepted to be parts of this exciting journey, very risky journey. And this title actually includes 3 extremely complicated topics. Science as public good, about which we have heard a little bit. Then science as driver of economy. And finally, the umbrella or overarching topic is how to implement this driver for small countries who have limited coverage of disciplines. So it is extremely complicated question solved very differently in different countries. And this variety of panelists is also intentional in terms of geographical diversity and professional background. It is important to address the different matters from all possible sides. You never know which nuance or which side leads you leads to the solution. And it's also important to include all possible cultural varieties, backgrounds, genders, different fields, simply because even people from different cultural environments, they do not necessarily ask different questions, but they often ask questions differently. And this helps in solution. So the format of this panel is kind of classic. Every panelist is first limited to 3-4 minutes to express his or her thoughts on the topic, on any aspect of the topic. And then there will be some prepared questions from the moderator. And I hope there will be some time to take questions from the audience. I think that it's good to start from Juras, who has prepared some slides. So he's probably the most prepared person in the panel, and he can give a good introduction. We can come also over here, but 4 minutes maximum.
Okay, very strict order. So, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, the topic is very broad: how to convert knowledge, education into public good. So I prepared a few slides, and I will show very briefly. So Lithuania is really a small country, so it fits. So if we look, it's only 2.9, nearly 3 million of people. So it's comparable size of Albania. And different median ranges, innovation, global rank in 2020 was 40, internet usage, and so on. So how we do? Higher education system. Due to 4 minutes time, I will skip several slides. Institutional framework. We have 18 universities, 19 colleges. It's a binary system, and 17 science research institutions, research institutes. So altogether, we work how to achieve an excellent science. Some years ago, Lithuanian government did very clever solution and introduced valleys. Every one of us knows Silicon Valley. In Lithuania, use the same names, valley, but instead of silicon, you can see 5 valleys which have been created. Santara Valley, Saulėtekio Valley, Nemunas Valley, and Marine Valley. So all these got a huge investment from the state. And one of the few aspects which I want to mention, because due to the short time, I'm not able to broaden my talk, life sciences. Life sciences are very strong in Lithuania, and gene editing, biotechnologies, all that stuff. So averaged 2.5% of GDP in Lithuania. So it's huge contribution. With agriculture, industry, and so on, biotechnology gives 2.5%. So a lot of spin-offs, startups, and even some unicorns are created from this knowledge. So first you have education in Life Sciences Center, and then people graduate, they do their PhD, and if science is not so much attractive, they go to the private business and make companies. And this results in 2.5% of GDP. Another story, which was also long-lasting, is lasers. And you can see here in this graph a lot of different companies which are involved in the laser production, creating new lasers, parametric amplifiers, and so on. So, and we are proud that from Lithuania, around 50% of global scientific ultra-short pulse laser are produced in Lithuania. So we have nearly half of a world market. And this, again, Faculty of Physics and the Institute of Physics, together, they created such a amazing stuff. Informatics, computer technologies, artificial intelligence, AI, fintech. And you can see on the screen the numbers, how the fintech companies got raised in Lithuania and how big market they have. And the last, which I want to show you, is that fintech, so information technologies, laser physics, biotechnologies, it was very long-term investments. And for small country, we understand that it's not possible to create in all fields, but some fields appear suddenly. The company Nanoavionics was created by accident. When I was a rector, a couple of graduates came to me and said, we want to make a nano satellite, nanocube. You know, it's 10 by 10 centimeters, and we produce it. But for launching it with NASA, we need to pay $50,000. Can university do that? And we will do with university label. We discussed that, and we saw that it's a good opportunity for university to advertise. So we paid this money, they created satellite, it was launched, and the first pictures from space of Lithuania came from this satellite. And what happened further? This company developed into Nanoavionics, big company, which now have orders of around 600 million euros. And they have over 200 employees, and they, you see, built 280 satellites, and this contract is only one. This contract is 122 million. So how to find this is a huge challenge. With that, I will finish. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's life. You have to be rude sometimes. Yeah, but the recipe is very simple. Recipe is extremely simple. Education, 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 and then choosing a niche. Very short.
If they have GDP, this means that they have employees, they produce products, they sell them. And of course, with taxes, it comes to the state budget. So I hope
Yes.
I answered, but it's a public good, because state budget is from all taxpayers. And if you have high-tech companies which are able to compete in the world market and sell their products, it's a huge impact on state budget. On state budget can finance universities, schools, and all other things.
It's not as easy as it sounds, but it is doable, what we have shown now. So I would then go the same sequence, Susanna, please.
Yes, thank you very much. So Slovakia is a little bit bigger country. We have about 5 million of inhabitants. So I will focus on Slovakia. How can Slovakia transform science into a driver of economic growth? So I can mention that 20 years ago, Slovakia was nicknamed the Tatra Tiger, our highest mountain, High Tatras, in combination with this moment of economic growth driven by liberal economic reforms and foreign investment. Significant input for us was joining the European Union, of course, in 2024. With this well-educated workforce, EU membership, and export-oriented industrial base, Slovakia appears well-positioned to benefit from knowledge-based economy, but we have, of course, problems. I can repeat many of points who were mentioned earlier. So we are struggling with underinvestment in research and development. Slovakia spends just about 0.9%, so less than 1% of GDP on research and development, which is below the European average. This issue is compounded by a lack of long-term stable investment. Too often funding for research is short-term, fragmented, and driven by short-term political cycles. There is also a problem with weak connection between science and industry. This is a significant gap. Slovakia has a strong industrial base, particularly in sectors like automotive, manufacturing, and electronics, but we struggle to connect scientific research to these industries in a meaningful way. There are some isolated examples of good practices, for example, cooperation between automotive industry and applied research at some universities, especially at the University in Žilina in the north part of Slovakia. But overall, the infrastructure for technology transfer, for commercializing research, and for encouraging academic entrepreneurship remains underdeveloped. We struggle with the lack of technology transfer offices with real business experience and fewer university-industry partnerships. In contrast, for example, with Czech Republic, which is our most close partner, they have, for example, developed strong innovation hub, CEITEC in Brno. It's a Central European Technology Park that link academia with business. So we plan to do something like this also in Slovakia. Another critical issue is the talent drain, as was said before. In many other countries, it's the same problem. Many of our brightest researchers and scientists leave Slovakia for better funded, more stable environments abroad. In 2014, Slovak Academy of Sciences established a program, SASPRO. It is a mobility and reintegration program designed to attract experienced researchers to Slovakia, both Slovak national returning from abroad, but also non-Slovaks, to work in Slovak research institutions and universities. It's a joint program between the Slovak Academy of Sciences and some of universities. It is funded by European Horizon 2020 scheme. This Marie Sklodowska-Curie Actions co-funded program. The big problem is also political instability and strategic disconnect, because frequent changes in government and political polarization creates a real challenge when trying to develop a cohesive national strategy that links research, education, and industry to economic development. So what can we do? First of all, I think that academia must take a more active role in bridging the gap between research and industry. We need technology transfer offices, incubators, and science parks. We need to advocate for more stable long-term funding. We are in negotiation with government. We are now preparing a strategy of Slovakia for the next 2 decades in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and our Prime Minister too. So we have to retain and attract talents, and we must be engaged in a policy dialogue. And I think that, and it is my agenda, to pay attention to research security and to intellectual property, because these are very underdeveloped moments in Slovakia among research institutions at all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Susanna. A completely different perspective, but there is no right or wrong. This is all part of the world and European scientific landscape. So having heard a physicist and a it's humanity expert, yeah, it belongs to humanities, what you're doing, and what the economy person is saying, Professor Cicic. You can also come here, yes. But you know that you will be pushed in 4 minutes.
I will finish within 4 minutes, so I hope. Actually, when I got instruction that I have to prepare something that will last 3 minutes, maximum 4, then I realized there is nothing to tell you, because I need a lot of more time, you know. So, but I will just nominate few interesting issues that are relevant for this topic, you know. which is a driver's public good as a driver of small economies. What are small economies for the beginning? Is Singapore small economy? I wouldn't say. Actually, there is underlying meaning in that. With small economy meaning you don't have enough money or you don't have enough capital to invest and build CERN or another activities that are infrastructure driven, but you have to do something with the little money you have, or how you can increase that money, in order really to do something. And that's basically small country, small economy. It means basically that you have to focus on something that you could be excellent in and that could be commercial as well, as we heard about satellites, nano satellites. This genial idea, but we don't have that many genial ideas on hand, so we have to really be very, very, very smart. So we have to select where do we go. Unfortunately, from the other hand, how much money only one company, which is Meta, which is Zuckerberg, is investing in artificial intelligence. $600 billion. $600 billion. And Oracle is 400, and OpenAI is to 100, and so on and so on. So this is huge money we cannot think of if you are a small country, if you work for small countries. So small country should focus really on Estonia computing, Slovenia pharmaceutical, Denmark energy, and so on and so on. And this really do what you can do with what you have. And what are the issues we have to think about? First, we realize we are small, we cannot do much, we should do what we can able to do, and then how to do it, even that small, because 2%, yeah, we are all talking about 2% or 3%, but 3% from the GDP of Bosnia and Herzegovina is so small, that you can only give the grants to people and try maybe to employ them to do something smart. And what we come to the point to realize that is diaspora. We have so many people across the globe, so let's organize them. Let's put money in organizations and stimulate, what they can do. And also we invested something which is about digitalization as well, because we have so many people in that area, and they are becoming really to be very smart in that part. Next point is we have to overcome the issues or the problems or the barriers. That people working in academia, and that probably means all of us, working at universities, working in institutes and so on, they are a bit, reluctant to discuss about commercial issues of science. When you say to them, look, we can invest that maybe to make business on, they say, they are doing that only because of profit. So what's wrong? Yes, because of profit, yes, and well, they believe if you nominate something as a profitable, that's dirty. That's not for us professors, academics and so on. So we have to overcome that barrier. Yes, profit. Yes, commercialization of science. It sounds like not acceptable, but we have to overcome that. Also, there are a few more issues, but I will stop here because I expect your questions will invite for more answers. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. It's very clear. If you are small, you must be smart. That's it. Another thing which was told, you must be in touch with production. If you can't convert your knowledge into product, you have lost. I think that Svetlana would give now a view of a mathematician.
Yes,
Would you
exactly.
please? Yes.
Going to give you, I'm coming from Montenegro. Montenegro is a very small country, and I would emphasize three issues. We would like, at least from my point of view, we would like to focus on related to the topic of the panel, of this panel. The first we want to focus in Montenegro is that somehow that the first and most importance of a science in society is to increase the knowledge of society in all levels of society. The results in basic sciences, especially in theoretical sciences, have almost unlimited validity, while the results in applied sciences, good results, are expensive to obtain, and the results are not so long-lasting. That's the fact. Somehow the basic knowledge in so theoretical knowledge is the best public good and the best driver of economy. Especially theoretical basic sciences. Somehow basic sciences, together with the humanity and art, they form a basis for the development of all aspects of society. And I think nowadays this is especially important for small countries, since the small countries have good influences from the aspects of the development of technology, but they are also influenced by sorts of side effects of modern technology, in a sense that not so high demanding jobs in different areas of modern technology, like IT sectors, are offered in small countries. In that context, basic and in particular theoretical sciences nowadays are equally affordable to any countries, and the small countries, especially in small countries, and we think it should be considered as a big advantage of a small country. So this is one issue that we like to focus on. The other issue is related to applied sciences and how one can develop applied sciences and apply sciences in a small country such as Montenegro. Of course, it should be related to available resources for economic development. And we already heard about that one can establish, the government should establish some targeting agencies which would serve as a bridge between the applied sciences and the country's economies. And these agencies, as we are trying to do, they should target as well the main courses of country's development and provide framework for establishing institutions, research institutions for the particular scientific areas. And this institution, from the point of view of the impact of applied sciences into development of economy, would have a double role. Scientists could collect the data from the resources for scientific research, while at the same time, in a direct contact, they can advise, improve economic development. For example, in Montenegro, being a small country, we have Agricultural Institute, which works very well in this direction. But also we have a center for science within the biggest wine distillery in Montenegro, so which is interaction both direction. And the third issue, which is important for small countries, is small countries strongly depend on international investments, and they rely on possibility to attract foreign institutional organization dealing with the science, innovation, technology to base the institution in their country. And in order to have recognized institution based in a small country, you need to, at least we need to produce highly educated staff, engineers, doctors, IC sectors, and so on. And I just want to mention that there is initiative coming from Montenegro to establish a center for cancer radiology in this geographical region, which is connected with the CERN and the other, and the other work. Okay, I will stop here.
Yes, thank you very much, Svetlana. It's about there were so many different interesting ideas but I am very puristic in my attitude. There is no applied science or basic science. There is good science and bad science. And we're doing good science, whether it's fundamental or applied. And about it's also true that in many cases, mathematics, astronomy, and some other sciences seems to have not many applications. But remember one story from Manhattan Project, creation of atomic bomb. When Oppenheimer went out of room, the others all continued in Hungarian language.
Yes.
Hungarian mathematicians.
Yeah, but I would like to add, because from our point of view,
Is Mike working?
from our point of view, applied sciences are quite expensive. We cannot actually afford it to ourselves, but we still, to survive something, to survive somehow at the scientific level. So it's to keep some educational scientific level and to try to attract some applied scientific organization to collaborate with.
Absolutely true, but you never know at which moment basic science is turned into applied science.
Yes,
you
yes,
know,
of course.
You
Yes,
never
of
know
course.
that beforehand.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you very much for your points. There were quite many. No, Joras. Now it's time for Illyrian.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Except the things that I have already thrown in the air during my speaking on the panel, I have to emphasize a little bit more some points that need to be discussed really. As a matter of fact, we have to emphasize the things that we have to engage the public through campaigns, education, and storytelling that make science accessible and inspiring. First of all, in my country, I'm, let's say, guiding a structure within the Academy of Science for the renewable energy storage and circular economy models, that we have to increase the visibility of the problems coming out from this subject, and throwing, let's say, a lot of contribution to the national movement, to the increasing results and, let's say, contribution to the economy. So as for the renewable energy technology, we have some contribution, let's say, in solar and wind potential, some geothermals and bioenergy. But as for the policy levers, there are some net metering and auction scheme that are already in place to support small-scale renewable projects. We have already applied for some projects, but even though we have not get the result from the selections, there are some remain problems of the investing in digital infrastructure to balance intermittent renewables and improved energy efficiency. Then we have not yet started the plan for the improving our studies to battery storage, which is nowadays a lot of valued projects and the subject. But as for the research opportunity, we as a structure within the Academy of Science, we can lead the research and development on low-cost, scalable energy storage and the solution tailors to Albanian grid. As for the circular economy models, we have a lot of scientific groups contributing with their own experimental works and modeling and simulation of the things, how to improve the processing from waste to energy, and then eco-design and recycling in order to open door for the green jobs through circular practices, which can create employment and recycling, repair, and sustainable manufacturing. As for the role of science and innovation, it is already time for Albania to launch a national energy innovation lab to prototype and test new technologies, foster cross-sectoral research, linking energy and agriculture, transport and digital system. But this comes through collaborate with the European Union partners to access funding, expertise, and market pathways. This sector is not just about energy. It's about sovereignty, sustainability, and smart growth. This is just to open a discussion between partners from the European Union, which are here, and we are on the way. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Juras, your short comment now, please. I shall ask your question, then after you answer.
Short comment, I will tell one example about fundamental science and applied science. You know Gustav Hertz, who found electromagnetic waves as a physicist. He told that from fundamental science of view, it's very interesting phenomena, but it will never ever be applied in real life. Can you imagine today our life without TV, radio, mobile phones? Everything is electromagnetic waves. So fundamental science is one, and as Tarmo mentioned, you never know in which room the fundamental knowledge will convert into the product.
And just adding, when iPhone was constructed, that was massive inclusion of social scientists and humanities people to understand what device people want to have.
Yeah, may I have one
Very short,
comment?
please, yes.
I'm speaking as a mathematician, as a theorem proof. So in order to have converted, you have something to have to be converted. So you need to have a fundamental science in order to convert it to something. That's that's like theorem in mathematics.
Absolutely. If you only do applied science, there will be soon no science to apply.
Yeah, that's.
Now, burning questions from the audience, starting from here, please. But microphone just for recording.
You discuss. Thank you very much for interesting discussion. You discuss for a small country. Albania is a very small country, but is very rich in natural resource. Do you think, or can science become a new natural resource for us?
Who is willing to answer? Juras again. It's your last time. Give floor to
I am talking too much. Lithuania is not very rich of natural resources. We have water, sand, a little bit of oil, and some minerals, but not very rich. And it's a common expression that one natural resource which we must use is brain. So brains are the main natural resource of the country. And if you have, I will not name the country, which is very rich in natural resources, but lives very poor.
Absolutely. There is one question or comment from the internet. Anna Mauronen, she was president of Finnish Academy of Science and Letters for some years. So Anna, the screen is yours. But please be
very much. Thank you very much. You must excuse my voice and my not very appropriate attire, in other ways, the way I dress, because I have a cold and was not able to join you. But what I found, thank you very much for these very interesting possibilities and ideas in different small countries. And I can relate to all those problems also coming from a small country. What I found, however, was that one thing that was mentioned in several in several short talks was the instability, the political instability of society. And I was wondering whether that is really something that, you just shrug your shoulders at because there's nothing that academic research or science could do to it. However, I wonder if we turn it around to a real kind of like research question, are there new solutions to improving political stability in a country and making it more predictable, which, to my mind, would probably be very likely to attract people returning from abroad to a country that is more helpful. It's not only that, you know, it's become rich, that might be a good attractor too, but also that it's nice to live in. Okay, would you like to comment on it?
Anybody wishing to comment? Susanna is smiling so that she would like to comment shortly.
Yes, so political instability can disrupt any strategy in development of research and innovations. But when this instability is combined, I think, with polarization, with disrupting of trust towards science and research, maybe you can make any innovations in the medicine area, but when people don't trust researchers and medicine, then it is useless. We could see it during pandemic. Then this anti-vax propaganda was driven by populist politicians, not only in Middle Europe, but also in the world. So I think that this is a very important question, how to strengthen position of research in political level. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. Science is selling trust. We don't have anything more to sell. So there was a couple of many questions. Jeffrey, and then, yes, the other guy. Please, I don't know.
Jeffrey Bolton from the UK. I guess your politicians are like our politicians. I hope they are. They have the money. We want their money. You want their money. What do we do about it? Well, I served as a member of the council that advised the three UK prime ministers in sequence. All of them asked the first question they asked was not, what stories can you tell me? And you've told some lovely stories this morning, but what's the evidence? And actually, what do you say to your politicians when they say, I hope they say, not what are your stories, because you have lovely ones, but what's the evidence? What is the evidence that is worthwhile here in Albania to invest seriously in science at the universities?
It seems that this question is really not rhetorical, but the answers are too long. But I think that this is the question which we should ask all the time from ourselves, and our answer prepared in a couple of weeks when we talk to our policymakers in our countries. But please, the question or comment, yes.
No comment, but my question is dealing with brain drain. A week ago, I was in Croatia, and a colleague of mine told me that a lot of doctors are leaving the country, something that is happening in Albania a lot. And as Madolari mentioned, brain drain in Albania has been the worst case in the East countries. And my question is, maybe it's not addressed directly to you, but you have links with politicians. EU should adopt another policy in order to diminish this impact. This has to do with financial support, etc. Because our colleague from Spain, with colleagues from Albania, has applied in EU for excellent censure and has not qualified. Has been in the short list, but so sometimes related with policy that we should follow, some support financially is very, very important. Okay, thank you.
Absolutely, I take the liberty to answer on behalf of the panel. While you are outside of EU, you can't do anything. If you are inside EU, then one country, one vote, and the decision must be consensus. So the situation will change fundamentally when you enter into
But
EU.
Croatia is in board. And my colleague told me that we are missing doctors because they are emigrating in other countries.
Yeah, this is a long discussion, and young academies have pointed that very sharply, and the collection of essays Reclaiming Europe is targeting this issue in a more general manner. I think it's quite interesting to read what our young colleagues think. But now we have to eat already 8 minutes faster than planned. Is there anything within 20 seconds from the panelists to say as a message to take home or to digest during their lunchtime? Okay, Juras, please, very shortly.
Chatting too much, but 20 seconds. The message for small countries, I think, should be that some fields are traditionally strong in small countries. You cannot take all fields, but sometimes do not lose opportunity to start the new ones. That's the message. And that's the examples which I showed. Biotechnology, laser physics was old one, but satellite industry in Lithuania was new one. So do not use opportunities of new chances.
But be open and inventive.
Yes.
Yes, open-minded, even better. There is one major hint or recommendation what I would tell to not only to small but also big countries. If you look at from where scientific production is coming, then it's about 70%, United States, about 70% is coming from private companies, and I mean core science production. 70% is coming from private productions. In EU, it's about 50%. In smaller countries like Estonia or Lithuania, it's 10 to 20%. It's not a competitive thing, it's a tragedy. You will be winning if you create high-level science in private enterprises, not only in universities. We have in Estonia saying that high-level science in private enterprises, it's in the very best interests of academic science. It is a future which is unavoidable. The sooner you do that, the bigger winners you are. Thanks a lot for all panelists. It was an inspiring thing. And now we can have lunch.